So you guys have grown quite a bit over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Tell us what's going on.
So 6 years in now.
Yep.
And we have grown quite a bit. We have 5 offices.
Where
So
are they?
that's exciting. So Bedford is our corporate office.
Yep.
And then we have an office.
Which is beautiful. People, if you haven't been there, it's an
you.
awesome office.
Thank you. It came out really nice.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of people building new construction commercial buildings in a pandemic. So why not?
No,
Yes, let's
but
do it.
Be different. That's how you do better.
Right.
Seriously.
But so Bedford's really a corporate office. Then we have an office in Guilford for the
Yep.
Lakes region. And then we have an office in Wells, Maine. That's our newest office.
Yep.
And then we have an office in Lincoln and a office in Portsmouth that will soon be Hampton.
Awesome.
John and I bought a commercial condo in Hampton, so we're moving
Yep.
all of the Portsmouth ops to the Hampton office. So
That's now, do you own all of those
no,
locations?
just the Bedford and the Hampton office.
Okay.
We rent space in Guilford, and then in Wells, Maine, it's with a KW Coastal
Yep.
office, and then up in Lincoln, it's with Brent Druin, who's C21
Oh.
Mountainside.
I didn't know you were in there.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's breaking news.
Yeah.
That's breaking.
Is
I
that
don't even
like
think the
brand new?
sign's up. It's brand new.
That's
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes, I'm
He does,
so
like,
excited.
all of the business
he
in
like
that
is
area.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so great.
That's fantastic.
Loon
That's
Mountain
awesome.
Realty is another really good one that does quite a bit of business,
Yep.
and we spend a lot of time up in Loon, so it was a kind of a natural progression to want to do business up there.
fantastic.
And they've got a lot of great stuff going on in that town. It's a great town.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I'm psyched. So there's been a lot of growth geographically.
Yep.
Internally, we hired. We grew the staff by 50%.
In what time span?
So probably in the past year and a half.
Yep.
And then
How many people do you have working for you now?
just shy of 40.
Woo.
It's a lot of birthdays, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of
It
people
is.
doing great things,
Yeah.
getting married, having babies, buying houses.
Isn't that fun?
It is fun.
know-
That's the best part about it, is watching people that have been with you and have grown and watched their life grow and take on new things, or started the company in one place and then they've been promoted and taking on new roles. That was probably one of the biggest things this year, is we added some layers in the organization.
Yep.
Operations manager, director of
Necessary.
marketing,
Yeah.
which allowed a lot of people that have been with me for a while to move into leadership positions, which was really cool.
Well, it allows a couple things, right?
Yeah.
One, it allows those people to move up.
Yes.
But it allows you to
Yes.
be able to do different things.
Yes.
That's something, I'll be honest with you, that I need to start working on
Yes.
here, because I'm still doing the same things that I was doing on a daily basis with everybody else, not originating loans. I love
Right.
originating loans. That's
Right.
the thing I love to do.
Yes.
But running the business was easy
Yes.
when I was originating loans and had 4 or 5 people that worked for me.
100%. 100%.
But now that I'm doing 30, 40,
Yeah.
50 loans a month sometimes on my own,
On your own,
and then
and
running a company
balancing-
of 35, 7
Yeah.
people, I don't even know how many it is, but somewhere around there. You know what I mean?
That's true. But that's
It's
the
like,
balance that
you know?
is the daily struggle.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I get very emotionally attached and connected to the people that work for me
Yeah.
at Cohen, and you want to be there for them in so many different aspects.
Yep.
And so then you're balancing being there for the people that work for you, being there for yourself,
Right.
for your family,
Yep.
for your friends, for the agents that we do business with, for the loan officer we do business with, and now all of a sudden you're trying to give so much
Yep.
to everywhere, and then you fall short. And there were
There's only
so
so
many.
much time in
that's
the
right.
day.
And it's like I found that in some days it's like I'm giving 10% here, 20% here, and then I have nothing left over here.
Yep.
You know, so I do think that once we came to a point where we added those layers in the organization, it is a transition,
Yeah.
right? And it is a little like, okay, now my role is here, but and it's hard.
It's
right?
hard
You
to
gotta
sometimes
balance it.
give that up when you're give up some of those
Yes.
jobs that you're this.
Yes.
I've done all this by doing this myself. You know what I mean? It's like, can I trust that
Can I
somebody
tr-
else can do the
Yeah,
same thing? It's not
right.
that you don't trust the person.
No,
it's that
it's
you're
just
giving up
giving
that
up, and it's something that
control of it
you
is
created
hard.
from
Yeah.
the ground up. So
And it's
that's hard.
It is a small,
It's
even
a
though,
s-
you're doing very well. You're doing probably double any other
Right.
title company in the state, but it's still a family. It's like a
still
small
fa-
family
right.
business.
That's right, and you want
That's what
that
we are
feel.
here. That's the feel
exactly
we have.
It. That's
And it's
exactly
like-
it. And it's hard to balance
tough when
that.
it transitions to being wow, it's like we're a company.
We're a company. Like I have a handbook.
Right,
Like
right.
We have
You have
HR.
you have a handbook?
We have a handbook,
Oh, I
and we
should
keep
probably have a
adding
handbook.
revisions and
Yeah.
additions and sending it out, and people
Yeah.
sign off on it.
Oh,
and
my God.
It's very intense. Thank you,
God,
HR.
we break the rules in the handbook every day. I've probably already broken the rules in the handbook, if I had a handbook already, 3 times today.
That's my go-to line. Like, have we referenced the handbook?
Right.
Has anybody pulled that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Let's
not
look at
in
the
there?
handbook.
Now we are revising it.
One thing you said a minute ago, which
Yeah.
I think is super important, that everybody, no matter what aspect of business they're in or whatever they do, right, is when you were talking about the birthdays and anniversaries and people growing and all that other stuff, and like the opportunities that people have.
Yeah.
You need to figure out why you do what you do.
Oh, so
like
true.
yesterday morning, I'm full straightforward truth all the time.
You are.
Yesterday morning.
So authentic.
Yeah, yesterday morning
it.
I'm sitting at home having a minor meltdown early in the morning, having my coffee outside with Nicole in the backyard, right? And I'm like, it's getting so fucking overwhelming. I'm like, I'm trying to do all these things and maybe I'm just going to say fuck it and just go back to doing loans myself. I'll do it just by myself, and that's all I'll do, right? And she goes, listen, settle down. She goes, think about all the people that we give jobs to.
So true.
We didn't have to let anyone go through the pandemic.
Right.
People, the opportunity, people have bought houses, people have had
That's
kids.
right.
You took people that were working, in some job they were unhappy in, and now look at them thrive and grow.
And they're thriving. And
this guy over here being one of them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Ed was unhappy being a DJ, but he was DJing, also working in the bank, doing this, doing that.
He wasn't living his best life.
No.
Yeah.
And now, the amount that he's like thrived and grown and he runs this media team here and kicks ass and does awesome. That's why we do this.
Right.
That's what I mean?
And that's why it's like that's what is the motivating factor that we keep going, right? And it's like it's finding out what makes people tick and what's their why.
Yeah.
And then we can bring that out and then we can provide that opportunity. Yeah. And then we watch it just take off.
Right.
And
it just feels good.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It does.
And even like the way I when loan officers come here and they start doing more business, right? It's not because I want to make money, you know what I mean? Because we really don't, which is the craziest part about it. You know what I mean? It's like they do, which is great. Right. But it's like we're watching people grow and all the guys that have come here from other companies, guys and girls.
You're part of that. You're getting to be part of that.
They come here and then like before I know it, in 6-8 months, they're buying a new house. Yeah. They're improving their lifestyle. Inspiring. It's awesome. It's fulfilling. You
meet their parents. You meet their friends. You meet you become part of that, and then you're like, wow, I'm like proud to be part of that piece of it. That people are bettering their lives. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool.
And that's why people out there, right? You always got to think about like what the real why is and whatever you're doing, right? Yes. And then it keeps you more like motivated and focused on continuing to do it.
Yes.
Because you can't do anything for money. You can't do anything for,
And when you're not being authentic to the life you're living, then you're faking it, right? And that only lasts for so long. So it's like
people see through it.
People see through it, 100%, 100%.
And then you're no longer someone that people want to be around or aspire to be or look up to or any of that. So you got to do things for the right reason.
That's true.
Right?
Which is hard. I think being authentic and being real. I think the beginning of the company, I was always so focused on what everybody thought, right? And even just growing up, me as a person, I'm always conscious of, am I saying the right thing? Am I wearing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making everybody happy, right? Yep. And I think that you want your people to be happy. I want my husband John to be happy. I want my boys to be happy. I want my family to be happy. I want my friends. But at the same time, you have to make decisions as a business owner that are not always the crowd pleaser decisions. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. It means that it's what you have to do. Right. And I think that has been a transition for me to sort of really take a look at, okay, wait a second, don't live in this layer of what people think, right? And don't live in this layer of making decisions based on what people think. You have to make decisions based on what you know is right. And I do trust myself to know that I know what the right decisions are. Sometimes it takes me longer to get there because
what you want.
And what you want,
right? Because a lot of times you end up doing what other people want.
So true.
You know what I mean? Or acting the way other people want you to act.
Right.
And it's like, then you're almost being held hostage by someone else that isn't even meaning to do that. You're doing that to yourself.
Yes.
I did that forever until really like the last couple of years. And
I'm like, wait a second.
I'm just going to be me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it feels so good.
Yeah. And I remember with me, it started with, I'm not going to wear a fucking tie anymore. I hate ties. You know what I mean? Honest to God. Like I was wearing a suit and tie every single day for like
You are not a tie guy.
15 years. And then one day I'm like, I'm putting on a tie. And I'm like, I feel strangled. You know what I mean? I literally feel strangled. So I took it off and I started going, I'm like, I'm never wearing a tie again.
No.
And she goes, what do you mean? She's like, wear a tie every day. I go, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
Done.
I've got
Ties
like
are
40
done.
ties
Get
that
rid
hang
of
in my
them.
closet. No, I look at them every day and I'm like,
No, thank you.
not you guys.
Yeah, not
you know? You know, and then it was even suit every day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have to put on an image. I do a good job.
Yeah.
I work hard. I'm going to wear
right.
suits to
Right.
important events
You actually
or whatever.
start to think, what do
Yeah.
I want
Right.
to wear today?
Right.
What do I want? Who do I want to meet with today?
Yeah.
Who do I want to spend time with? Who do I want to, bring in to help grow and
Yeah.
move? And
Even your
it's-
opinions and thoughts on things. You know what I mean? I remember years ago, like,
Yeah.
I was like, I lived my life in like this, I am neutral to everything.
Yes.
And of course, with some things you have to be
Absolutely.
when we work with so many people
Yes.
out in the public.
Yes,
You know what I mean? I don't have any
absolutely.
strong
No.
feelings about things, but
No.
like, you can still share your
You
opinion.
can still have opinions. You can still share,
You know?
and then it's like appropriate measures and
Yep.
methods in order to do so. You
Yep.
can still have those opinions, and you can still share them appropriately and on the medias that make sense.
Yeah.
But at least you're living authentically to you,
Yep.
and you're being yourself, and you're
Yep.
not worried about making other people happy
Yeah.
in a sense that you might not be living up to your own principles
Right.
and the own things that make you happy.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes has been, hard in business where you want to work with everybody,
Right.
But there's sometimes there's fits where you're like, maybe this isn't a fit, right?
And that's okay.
And you got to be okay with it.
Because you can't work with every
That's right.
single person.
That's right.
Because maybe you might share completely different,
Yeah.
values, ideas,
Yeah.
thoughts from that person.
Right.
And
It's so
they don't
true.
want to work with you, you don't want to work with them, and
And
that's
it's
okay.
like, that's okay.
That's
and we
fine.
can absolutely, and there's enough business for everybody.
Right.